going on, guys? For today's video, I'm not going to do a vlog because I don't know if you guys can see out the window there, but it is raining outside. Plus, I've been doing school for most of the day, so I can't really do much because it's raining and it's like the end of the day, so kind of out of time there. So to make up for that, I want to go ahead and do something a little bit different. I'm going to do kind of like a comparison or my honest opinion on the difference between my MacBook here and my Lenovo computer right here. So pretty much I'm gonna break it down like this. I'm gonna basically start off by talking about what I like about each system and why I like it, and then I'm gonna basically talk about which one I prefer to use in my own daily usage and why. So let's get right into it. So right off the bat, we'll start with the Mac here because I have it in my hand. I just got this like a week ago, so which you guys should have saw in my video. If not, go check it out. It's pretty lit. It's a banger. But 2019 MacBook Pro 13-inch. Right off the bat, this computer is great because I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's like super thin, very thin, very narrow, and it also weighs absolutely nothing. I mean, if you compare it to my hand, I have a pretty good sized hand here. I mean, it's pretty small, 13-inch, but it's got great construction. I mean, it's Apple, so what do you expect? I mean, for people who already have a Mac, this is probably the exact same. It's not a surprise. I mean, pretty much every MacBook ever has been metal, so it's not really that special. But to me, this is I have mostly a crappy, cheap plastic Windows PC, so this is a big improvement. But so overall, it's made super well. I do appreciate that it has screws here, so you can take the back plate off and service the battery and whatnot. Unfortunately, the RAM is soldered on here, so you can't upgrade that, but you can replace the battery. I think you can replace the SSD too, so that's pretty sweet. But it's a great machine. It is limited on ports. It only has Thunderbolt ports and a headphone jack here, which I actually prefer these over your traditional, 9 million USB ports and all this nonsense. I prefer the Thunderbolt ports because these actually, in my opinion, are more smart because they're universal. So my charging cable here for the charger, you can plug it in to any one of these ports, which is a lifesaver. That's so smart. And on top of that, once you convert to fully Thunderbolt 3 ports or USB Type-C ports, so you're not using any traditional USB 3.0 or 2.0 devices, you realize how smart this is. This is literally the future. This is a big move. One downside, obviously, is there's no HDMI port, but I mean, whatever. And of course, getting into the computer itself, this machine has a very beautiful display, as you can see. I mean, this is a camera, so it's not doing it justice, of course, but I mean, this display is just phenomenal. It's just beautiful. And then there's also backlight keys that are adjustable in brightness, and of course, the new touch bar up there, which touch bar is amazing. That's my new favorite thing is the touch bar, because your emojis are on there, your settings, your tabs for your browser. It has the word suggestion when you're typing out stuff. It's amazing. It's a very useful thing. So that for me is a big deal. So I'm hoping that more Windows PCs will start using that, because I'm not an Apple fanboy. I like Windows too. So that's pretty much it for the Mac. I mean, it's got great battery life, great display, great features, amazing build quality. It's serviceable. My biggest complaints really with the MacBook Pro is the keyboard is kind of stiff. So there's that. The cooling system sucks. It does get warm all the time. If you're charging it, it's gonna get hot. If you're using Final Cut Pro or a bigger program, it's gonna get warm. It won't get hot, but it'll get warm. You're gonna feel it in your palms, which is kind of annoying. And to me, it's a quality thing. I mean, I think Apple should have been a little more creative with that, but by fixing the problem. But whatever. But other than that, I mean, I'm new to Mac, so I don't love I'm still learning the operating system. So for me, I'm very sloppy and kind of choppy with it because I haven't really gotten smooth with it yet. Whereas Windows PCs I've been using since I was 10 years old, so I'm pretty good with Windows PCs. But either way, great computer, really no complaints. My only complaints really, as you guys heard, was just the keyboard, and that's basically it, to be honest with you. It's pretty sweet other than that. And the cooling system. So let's go ahead and move on to Windows. So the Windows PC, this is my Lenovo PC. I've had this for about a year now. This is a Lenovo IdeaPad Flex 14-inch. Pretty sweet machine. I do really like it is metal, by the way, but it's a very cheap metal, and this is not metal, this is plastic, but the hinges are metal. This is like a rubberized plastic, I think, but if you open it up, the face plate here, this is metal, so that is an improvement. This computer was $500, whereas the Mac was like over $1,000, so this is a pretty affordable PC, so you can't expect like an amazing quality. I'm gonna be honest with you, this computer for $500 is like amazing. I would highly recommend this computer, because this computer, what you get for $500, insane. You can take it apart, so you can upgrade the RAM. Yes, it already has an SSD installed, but you can put a bigger SSD in it. The battery, I think you can remove, so if you want to replace it yourself, you can do that. It has plenty of ports. You got USB 3.0, an SD card slot. Then over here you have HDMI, you have USB Type-C, a headphone jack, your charging port, and that's pretty much it. But I mean, that's more than enough. It's got plenty of cooling slots in the back, on the bottom, and the speakers are here. The speakers in this computer are like good enough, but they're not anything special, whereas the MacBook has really good speakers, but again, it is more expensive, so what do you expect? But this computer is really good. Like I still use a computer. I use this computer almost every day, because it's just a great computer, you know? The display on this computer is actually, I don't know, you can't really see it because of the lighting and it's a camera, but this display is really, really clear, and it's like almost really good when it comes to color accuracy. It's a little bit off, but it's like, for how much you pay for this, phenomenal. The backlighting is good. It is kind of dim, like compared to a Mac. If you max the brightness out on it, it's like, it looks fine, but it's like, it could be brighter. So, you know, mixed emotions on that. But honestly, like, and for the most part, I never have issues with it. It does have a backlit keyboard too, which you can turn off. I think there you go, yeah, it's hit the FN key, the function key, and the space bar. Turns it off, which is pretty cool. Overall, great machine. It has great battery life. It has lots of ports, great display. It's very powerful. I mean, I've run AutoCAD. I've run like Adobe. I've run some pretty good sized programs on it, and obviously they're slower because it's not really made for that. But I mean, it's for what your average Joe is going to use it for. This computer for $500 with Prime shipping on Amazon is like top notch. This computer is definitely worth the money, in my opinion, which is why I bought it. But overall, this is a great machine. But my only complaints really is the display is not quite good enough, in my opinion. Like, it's still a little bit, you know, mediocre. So, because I'm kind of a display nerd, I guess you could say. So for me, I notice the problems with it, whereas your average Joe probably wouldn't notice it. But for me, the display is like not quite where I want it, but I'm not terrible. And other than that, oh, the trackpad. The trackpad is a little bit noisy. It's not cheap, but like, I don't know if you can hear this, but it's kind of like, it just feels kind of cheap, you know, whereas the Mac is way more solid and cushioned. This feels very tinny and just cheap, but again, this is $500, so what do you expect, you know? But overall, it's a really sound machine. I do notice too, when I'm running very basic tasks like Chrome, the cooling fans come on and stuff, which is like, I don't know why it's running so hot. It could be something I'm doing, I don't know. But overall, great machine. Great for school, great for your average Joe, for whatever you're going to be doing. Great machine. So, not too many complaints, just, you know, just nitpicky stuff. But anyways, I want to go ahead and wrap this video up with my last conclusion, which is which one do I use the most at the moment and why? And the answer to that would be the MacBook. Mainly because, to me, this machine is just superior for what I do. I think Windows is more customizable and more open to whatever you want to do when it comes to gaming or like AutoCAD, design programs, stuff like that. But the problem with Windows to me is I just don't think it makes as much sense long term for your average Joe. Mac OS, in my opinion, is superior just because it runs cleaner, and I think it's just snappier and just better overall. And I don't know how to put it. It just seems less like, it just seems more like practical, you know? It definitely, I'm not fully used to it yet, so I can't really like hype it up too much because I don't know much about it. I'm just learning how to use it basically. But overall, like, I really enjoy using it, so can't really complain. I just think the display in this thing, I mean, I'm really obsessed with displays. So this display is like top notch. No bleeding, amazing color accuracy. You can adjust it, you can calibrate it to your liking. I mean, this display is amazing. The keys, I actually don't mind them. So, because this has a much better keyboard, the Windows PC, but I don't mind them, honestly. I don't mind it. The touch bar in this thing is amazing. This is just the future. Like, all PCs need to conform to this design. They need to have touch bars, they need to have amazing displays. The speakers in this thing are just like amazing. The only thing that really sucks about this computer is the cooling. It's trash, so it does get warm, which I just think is kind of pathetic, seeing how expensive these things are. I think the 16-inch Mac Pros even have the same problem, so I don't know, mixed emotions on that. But overall, this is my go-to PC, and you really can't beat it. I would highly recommend a Mac for anybody out there. I got mine on Amazon, and I got it brand new. I didn't get a used one, but this is the 2019 and it's 2020, so I got an older one because this is the 2.5 gigahertz Intel i5 one. I think it's an 8th gen processor, I don't really know, but this is basically just as powerful as the 2020 base model 13-inch Mac Pro, but it has a better graphics, integrated graphics in it. And the CPU is a little bit faster, I think, a little more powerful. So to me, it's just made more sense because it was the same price, but it was better. So I was like, plus I had 2-day shipping. Whereas my Mac, when I first bought it from Apple, it was gonna take like 2 months to get here. So that was just stupid. But either way, this is my computer of choice. I'll probably make another video like this, maybe 6 months from now, letting you guys know what I'm still using, because I might switch back to Windows as my daily driver for school and stuff. Because this is, I think, at times more convenient for school because it like most schools kind of use Windows PCs. So it is kind of annoying because you have to convert all your documents from Pages to Microsoft Word and stuff. But I mean, I use Google Docs in general, so don't really care. But anyways, so yeah, this is my PC of choice. Apple Mac Pro, 13-inch. I love this computer. I'm going to use this thing until it breaks probably and buy another one afterwards because I love it. And I'm also super excited for the new, I think it's Big Sur, the new update for this thing. Hyped for that when it comes out. But either way, be sure to like the video, drop a comment with ideas or whatever you want to talk about, or critiques, all that good stuff. And be sure to share with friends and family because I'm trying to grow my channel a little bit. So any advice or whatever you want to do is much appreciated. So anyways, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace.